What's going on, guys? You got Kwasi here, Kwasi Media Network, Kwasi Animation Studio. Sorry if there's any sort of distortion. For some reason, my microphone is just not wanting to work accordingly. But let's get into this. So, as you see, we're talking about Rokoko, the free option, and also Animate. Again, the description in the link to Animate is in the description. So, you can use Animate to help you with the problem you're going to have with Rokoko. So, what we want to do is we want to import animation. So, I usually have a folder for that. Let's go to File, Import FBX, and then we'll go to an animation. All right. So gonna go in. We're gonna bring in animation. So with Rokoko likes to bring the character back to where it is. So I'm gonna go over to the object data properties and put it in front. So because if I slide this over and then I retarget this, he's gonna go over here. So instead of doing that, I just leave him where he is. Okay. So I want Toshi to be my target. So let's I drop him, and then we're going to make the other armature, the Mixamo armature, our source. So then you want to hit build boneless. Now, in my uh, practice with Rokoko, I've noticed that it does pretty good in giving you a solid bone list. Okay, especially with Mixamo character models. All right. So like here, if I slide this over some, it's not really doing like the fingers and the toe ends or whatnot, right? But it gives me all of the other basic parts that I would use. All right. However, what I've noticed is that the hips don't show because it's using the lower spine for the model. So let's go into pose mode. I'm going to click this, and this spine right here is also my hips. So what I want to do is I want to get rid of this one, and then I'm going to just come up here, and then I'm going to add it. Okay. All right. So because you're going to need that. All right. And because it's not like auto rig where you can go in and make them have the same pose, most people say, well, I want them both to have the same pose. I'm like, I get that, but it's the reason why you want animate. Okay. Because a lot of times you just need to just move the arms back to where they should be. Because the only thing that's different is the axis of whatever the axes that the particular bone is on in the rotation that's away from the body. So I'll show you what I mean. So it's saying rest or current, and we're not going to do it. We're going to go rest pose and then go retarget. Now the thing about it is because the target is using the source's uh, rest. Okay, so excuse me. So what I want to do is now take the other armature and I want to slide it over because it's going to be our reference. Okay, so click this, and again, like I said about animate, if you have it installed, you'll have this actual offset button. So I'm gonna click this offset button. I'm sorry, no, I'm not gonna turn on yet. And what you want to do is make sure that you're in the rotation up here where your transforms go to local and your transform pivot point go to original origins. Click this particular bone. Now we're going to go into offset animation. So when I offset it, I can just push it out. Okay. And I'm just going to rotate it out a little bit because again, it's pretty much already correct. All I needed to do was just make sure that I made enough of an adjustment that it's where it needs to be. But I also noticed that this elbow is further back. So guess what? There you go. All right. All right. Another thing is I like to change the wrists. Okay. You can go in and work on the fingers if you like. That's fine. I tend not to because I use my own pose library for those. Same thing here. I clearly see that the arm is in front. So I know I need to push this out as such, and I'm going to rotate it out. All right. And again, animate is offsetting it, so you don't have to. Right. Because you can do this manually, but it kind of sucks to do it manually. Right. Okay. So I also noticed that this leg is too straight versus this one is in front of him. So what I'll do is I hit one on the numpad and I'm just going to drag it over until it's straight up and down. Same thing here. I'll just rotate this foot because it's to the inside. Okay. And I'll rotate. There we go. So, all right. So now when I hit play, I'm going to turn off animate and hit play. Boom. We're done. Now, if you notice when he stands straight up where the arms are. So I like to go to the last pose sometimes And what I'll do is check the last pose out. Let's go to the last pose, which is this one. And I'll say, okay, this is where his arm is. So what we'll do is go back into animate, and then we can fix it from here. Because now you know you have your reference point. So you see where it's at, right? Okay. And you see that the arm is further down and that the wrist is flared out. And you can also fix this thumb. Right? Okay. Again, this is about finding where it is, not about trying to don't get upset or frustrated about if it doesn't look exactly like you want, because Rokoko is a lot different from Auto Rig. And you'll see that in the video that I do for Auto Rig Pro. Okay. All right. Which is, again, the paid option. So now when we see it, you see where it's at. Now, this is what it looks like for him, which makes more sense now because that's more, because this is just an armature. So you don't have any body, right? So now we have a body and we can see the difference in what it looks like. Okay. So turn animate back off. Boom, done. So if I, because now when I do this, he's going to disappear, but I'm just going to turn off Toshi's rig. Okay. And we get to see. And I think this is at 30. I want to change it back to 24. All right. And you're done. So simple as it can possibly be. Do not forget Animate. Go download it. It's not hard to use. You don't have to overcomplicate it with yourself. Again, it only works when you are in pose mode. Okay. All right. So I hope that helps someone, and check you out in the Auto Rig Pro. None but love.